So the last time I gave an update, it was Friday. Today is the Tuesday. On Friday, once I actually sat down and wrote out everything that I needed to do for the weekend, I realized that studio was my only homework. So I kind of got a little lazy in the sense that since I only had to worry about studio, I thought I had more time to just relax because I was pretty stressed out from the week. So I spent a lot of the weekend, besides doing the delivery job, just laying in bed, sleeping, and trying to rest. And then Saturday, I worked on it for a little bit, and Sunday, I worked on it until I got sleepy. And I thought, oh, I'll just wake up at like 6 a.m. and then I'll be ready to turn it in before class at 9. So I went to bed, and the biggest mistake that I made this weekend was I looked to see what homework I had due in every class except for my studio class. I guess I just trusted my memory and thought I remembered everything that she said to turn in before Monday, but I didn't. And luckily, I, for whatever reason, woke up at like 5 a.m., an hour before I planned to wake up and finish my homework. And then I decided, oh, maybe I should check and see what actually is due. And I realized that there was a bunch of stuff due that I did not do and was not prepared to turn in. So I basically rushed right up until class started to turn in my work. And I honestly did not finish, but I had enough to get some help from her. And she's not a strict professor, she's actually really amazing. So I wasn't too stressed about everything. But the way that I am, I just really like to be on time with everything that I do. So the fact that I didn't finish the homework fully kind of had me a little upset, but that was my mistake. I had 3 days to work on it, and I just thought I knew what I was doing without just double checking, and I didn't see that there were more things I had to turn in. Then I think it was around 7 o'clock last night, my friends decided to start a Zoom call so I could get some help and so they could get some help too. And that was actually really great. I was able to get some help on my project and just sit and relax and talk to them. We actually can't see each other for a few, I think it might not be a full week, but it's like, I think we have like maybe 5 more days until we can see each other. So it was nice to just be on Zoom and work on our homework together. Um, I got a lot of help on my computer model, and then I started working on my structures homework. I don't know the correct way to describe my structures class, but I think it's just a mixture of physics being applied to actual buildings and structures. But yeah, we work on like finding how much compression is put onto a beam, stuff like that. So that's what that class is. It's not too hard yet, but I can tell that it will get there eventually. So I ended up working on that last night too, and I finished it. So we didn't get off of Zoom until about 12:30 a.m. and then I went to bed around 1, and I woke up today about 7, started my homework at 7:30 because we have a lot of stuff due tomorrow, and I really want to go to sleep at a reasonable time tonight. So I'm trying to seriously work all day, do not procrastinate, and seriously get this done in an efficient manner because I have not been getting enough sleep, and I could tell that I'm getting to my breaking point, and I really do not want to get there. So I'm trying to just hurry up and finish. But besides my 2 classes for the day, I'm just going to be sitting in the spot working. Okay, so I think we all know what I'm about to say. Let me put this on the tripod. I didn't go to bed until 1:30 a.m. I literally don't know how it was possible for me to spend all day yesterday working on the homework and still not finishing it until 1:30. And I didn't even finish it at 1:30. 1:30 is just when I went to bed. I actually woke up at 6 and finished it. And then I finished it around 7, and I was like, well, I might as well just go ahead and start my day. So now it's 8:30, I have class in 30 minminutes, and I'm just existing here. Like, very sleepy architecture student existing. So the plan for the day is to go to class, see what homework I have, and take a nap. So I'm out of class now, and I'm just trying to figure out my game plan for the day. Last night I made up in my mind that I was gonna go to the architecture building and spend the whole day in there today. Okay, but before I do leave, I did want to give some updates on my model because I haven't really talked about it in a while. So I'm pretty sure the first thing that I had to add were structural supports. They don't have to be too correct because we haven't really learned it yet, but our professor just wanted us to like be aware of the fact that eventually we are going to have to start implementing them in our models. So I tried my best to just think of how there would need to be structural supports under my bridge. So I put some columns and some beams right here. I still have to figure out how to change the material of it because right now it's steel and I need it to be made out of wood, and it's not letting me change it. I'm trying my hardest to figure out how. So that's the first thing that I need to fix. And then there's also, this is where I have a closet space, which my professor told me to put a smaller door right here because the door takes up all the space. And if you look right in, that's a different model I have. And if you look at my model in the first floor view, you can see the door literally takes up all the space when it opens. So I'm gonna try to put a smaller door right here so it doesn't block the whole hallway when you open it. So this area right here is where the classrooms would be. So you walk inside and there's a big open classroom that you can see better from this plan. This is the door that I'm talking about. You walk in, you get to the classroom. These are the bathrooms, which are right here. And then this is a big meditation space. I'm still working on all the columns. That's why there's a bunch of random columns everywhere, because I need to add beams to them. And you can also see that better in the level plan. That's what I was working on before I started my art history class this morning. I'm trying to figure out how I want to place all of my columns. I decided that for this model, I'm not going to have them in my actual building. I'm just going to have them on the outside. So I'm actually going to go in and delete all of these columns that I have going on throughout my building. But back to my 3D model, another thing that my professor told me to do was to change the door I had right here. She said since this is the main area that I want to show off, it needs to be more noticeable and kind of show like, hey, you know, when you walk into my site, go through here, because right now it just looked like a random door. Okay, so here's my site, and you can see that it's at a slant, so that's why I have these stairs, not even stairs, they're really, so that's why I have these steps going on right here, just so when you enter from the side, you don't have to make a huge jump. There's stairs to help you get down. And then these are the top of the stairs inside the meditation area that I can show better in my second floor plan again. There's stairs that lead you all the way up to the roof. And then this is where people can sit. So like I already said, today I need to just change the doors right here and the doors to the closet in the office space, and then fix all of my columns and add some beams, and then I will be caught up with everything I need to do to my computer model. So once I finish those changes to my computer model, I have to draw an axon, which is short for axonometric. It's a view that is basically a 45 degree angle. So for my design, this will be a good axon view because it shows the way you enter throughout my site, the meditation area, the bathrooms, the classrooms. It really shows everything that I'm trying to show in my site. A bad view of my model would probably be this one because you can't see really anything that's going on. You have these walls blocking you and the topography is cutting off half of it. So this would not be a good axon view. You just can't really see the main points that I'm trying to show. It's 5 minutes past 6. I just got back from the building. I stayed there until about 5:30. I'm just gonna go ahead and say it now. I'm going to be up pretty late tonight, but it's okay tonight because last night I ended up going to sleep at 9:30, so I'm well rested. And Trippie Redd is releasing Neon Shark tonight, and he is my favorite artist, so I was gonna stay up until 12 to listen to the album regardless. So at least I have something to keep me company while I wait for his album to drop. So here's a very, very rough sketch of my axon drawing that I'm working on. It's gonna take me a little longer than it would normally take me to do an axon just because I have so many curves in this model, but I don't know, a lot of people keep saying that, like, good luck to me and stuff like that, but I'm honestly not that stressed out about doing the curves. I think it'll be more of a, like, learning experience, because in every single model that I do, I purposely don't do curves because they're hard. So I like the fact that I'm challenging myself with this, and I think it'll look really nice. So it'll be a good thing to have on my portfolio, showing that I could, like, work with curves. Okay, so it's the next morning. I have about 50 minutes before I need to go ahead and drive to school, so I woke up a little bit earlier so that I can finish my axon. I couldn't really finish it last night just because my room has really bad lighting, and I honestly couldn't see what I was doing, so I decided let me just go to sleep and worry about it in the morning. This is what my axon is looking right now. There's just a few things that I need to fix. Like, obviously this whole area is a problem, and I need to add some more beams right here, and I need to add the doors right there, but then I'll be done. So it's much later in the day now. I already went to class and everything. So yeah, I went over all my drawings with her and got some feedback. This time I wrote down everything that she said, because the common theme with me is not writing down what she says and thinking I remember, and then I don't remember, and then it's a big issue. So after I had my talk with her, I went to my desk and immediately started writing down just about everything she said. And look at this list. These are all the corrections I need to make to my computer model before Monday. Which I knew I was going to have corrections to make, but I really wasn't anticipating this many. And the thing is, if I change my computer model, then I have to change everything after it, because the computer model is how I made my sections, my elevations, my axon view. Like, everything is based on the computer model, obviously. So that means I basically cannot work on anything until I get my computer model down. And like I've been saying, I want to spend this weekend working on my physical model. So today I'm going to try to make as many changes as I can. And then once I finish all of these changes, I should be able to start my physical model and start the time lapse of me working on that. Alright, so it just passed 12 a few minutes ago. I'm actually about to head to bed. It's so funny because our professor told us that she wanted us to send a few sentences talking about our design and architectural terms, and the clock had just hit 12, and like 3 of us like just turned it in right now. I'm not sure how other students feel, but for me the design statement is always pretty hard to do, because you already have your design done and now you need to explain in architectural terms what's going on, and it's just really hard. It's just really hard to think of all the different words that we should know by now, that we should actually be using when we speak. So yeah, that's what I just rushed to type and submit, because like I said before, we have crit on Monday, so now it's time for us to really understand our own design so we can properly say it to another person and have it make sense for them. Because the last thing that you want to happen is they look at something and they're like, why did you do that? And you have no answer. Like, that's just not the right thing. You always need to have, even if you don't know why you did something, you still need to just figure out a reason why. Like, everything needs to make sense. You can't just be like, I felt like it. That's just not how you want to present. your work that you should be proud of. So before I go to bed, let me give an update on where I am with everything. Before, I basically just had generic walls and windows, and it looked fine. It didn't look bad, but my professor was like, it looks like you made it on a computer program, you know, like it looks like I just made a generated wall that Revit gives you. So she was like, try to add different things into it, and then I was just playing around with different things, and I created these cool curves, and I just love them so much. I'm probably gonna do my accent all over just because I've changed a lot of things that many things that have added up to a bigger thing. So it's at the point where it's just like, just redo the whole thing, which I'm not too mad about. I don't know why I'm not mad about it, because that accent was actually extremely hard to do last night. But I'm not gonna stress myself out about it if I'm not mad about it, you know. Let me show you how many things I crossed off the list. That's what the list is looking like. It honestly doesn't look like that much, but the things that I left on are the easiest things for me to fix, and that's why I just left them last, because I could really make all of these changes in like 2 seconds. So maybe I will do it before I go to bed, just in case. So the plan for tomorrow is to go to the building as soon as they open at 9, and I plan on spending the whole entire day in the architecture building. I really have no time to waste on this project. I don't want to be rushing last minute to finish it, because I want it to be extremely well crafted, meaning I need to work on it as soon as possible. So I'm probably gonna wake up around 7:30, maybe 8, and then be in the building as soon as they open at 9 so I can start working on my project.
If you say yes, I'll give thanks. If you say no, never in front, it's gates. If you say yes, Lord, I'll give thanks. If you say no, never in front, it's gates. If you say yes,
So I have to cut into this montage to say that I'm irritated. I was told that the building was going to be open at 9, and I've been here since 9, and it is now 9:40, and there is no one in the building, and now they're telling me people will be in the building at 10, and that's just really frustrating, because I'll be sitting here for an hour, and that's an hour of work that I've missed out on. So that's how my morning's going. So I'm headed home. It's about 3:15 in the afternoon. I was planning on spending the whole day in the building, but since I couldn't get inside of the building until 11, I'm starving. I didn't get to eat lunch. My original plan was to come to the building at 9, leave at 1 for lunch, and then return at 2 and stay in there until 5. But I couldn't get inside of the building until 11, so I didn't want to go home at 1. I wanted to stay for as long as I could bear. So it's 3 o'clock now, and I'm gonna head home for the day and eat lunch. I did just go ahead and bring home all of my supplies with me just in case something happens tomorrow where I can't get inside the building. And not being able to get inside the building until 11 has put me way behind my mental schedule. So tomorrow I'm just not even gonna mess with trying to get inside the building and just stay home and bring all of my work home with me. So I've made this makeshift desk space in my room just to give me space to spread around and see everything that I'm doing. I took a little break from my physical model and finished up the 2 diagrams that I had to make. So yeah, that was just something that I put on my to-do list for the day. It didn't take that long, maybe 30 minutes tops, but probably less than that, honestly. So now I'm gonna get back to my model. So I actually have to experiment around a little bit. I wanted my walls on my site to be made out of wood, but the problem is the wood from Michael's and Hobby Lobby is very expensive, and I also don't know how I would curve it. So what I'm planning on doing is using thin chipboard and then gluing on these sticks and hopefully being able to cut them as long as I need them to be, or as short as I need them. Okay, so it's not impossible, but it is still pretty hard. I'm still gonna test it anyway and just glue it down just because I really want this to work and I don't have an alternative if it doesn't work. So I already cut this one piece that's already the right size that I needed, and I'm planning on just getting a bunch of sticks and just gluing them on top of each other and then going back with my utility knife and cutting them all to the right length. Okay, so I sat my laptop on it a little bit just to flatten it out, and it looks pretty good, honestly. Now we just have to see if I could cut it to the right size. Perfect. Oh, thank God. Look at that. It's literally coming straight off. So what I did was, instead of trying to cut it all the way down, you just notch a slit in it and then you rip the slit. And then it comes right off. So I just finished cutting this piece and this looks amazing. And it's able to bend. It's literally perfect. Oh, I have Criminal Minds in the background, sorry.
boy is Benny Hanna.
Alright, so it's just about to be 8 p.m. and this is my progress on my site. The glue's still showing because it's drying, but I am very happy with how it looks right now. It looks exactly like my computer model so far. Like, I got this site down to a T with the right elevation level and everything. So I'm not gonna lie, I don't really know where to continue on it because I've actually done more than enough that I wanted to do today, and I'm kind of getting like bored of working on it, and I do have a bunch of other things that I could do that involves this project, so I think I'm gonna stop model making for today, or maybe I'll stop just for a little while and come back later, but for right now this is where I'm gonna stop. Okay, so it's almost 1 o'clock and I'm about to get started on my model again. I had a few other things I needed to do for the day. I'm just now starting to work on it because I went to Office Depot to go print out my drawings. We usually print our stuff in the architecture building, but their printing setup is kind of, I don't even know how to describe it. Sometimes it just doesn't print out the way you want it to print out, and one of my classmates was like, I just go to Office Depot, it's much easier and it prints out exactly how I want it. So I went to Office Depot today, and like she said, everything printed out amazing. I printed out some perspective drawings of my model, and they just look absolutely beautiful. The paper is better than what we have in the school too. So I'm gonna put these up during my critique tomorrow, and then I've just printed out my levels and just the sections, you know, stuff like that. So I can show everything once I actually have it pinned up tomorrow during my critique. Okay, so I just wanted to come on here and close out the video and show you guys my final model. So yeah, today was crit day. It went pretty well overall. I told myself to stop classifying crits as either a bad crit or a good crit because there really should be no such thing as a bad crit. I used to tell myself if they gave me more things to fix than good compliments, that means it was a bad crit, but that's really not how it works. If they're able to engage with you and tell you what you should improve on, then you've learned something and it was a good critique and you got good advice. So for my critique, they basically told me what I already knew. We were supposed to have a model that had stereotomic and tectonic elements in it, and I kind of wasn't really feeling the tectonic elements that I was trying to incorporate, so I just canceled them out altogether, which of course was not a part of the requirements. I was required to include them. So most of my critiques were just on ways that I can actually incorporate the tectonic part in my design, and they gave me a lot of good feedback of how I could have executed that. And overall, I think it went really well. They told me that they really liked my design and they really could see that I put a lot of effort into it and I knew what I was talking about. So yeah, that's the end of this 2-week-long project. I hope it was a good video to watch. I don't know how I'm gonna edit this. I've never edited a video in my life, so we'll see how this goes, but thank you for watching.